Working out doesn't have to be just going to the gym, lifting weights, and maybe doing things that you don't enjoy. There are many different ways to stay fit, to stay healthy. And today, I am very excited to be bringing on a special guest highlighting her business, South Dakota Aerial Arts, where they are taking fitness off the ground and really exploring fitness from a very unique way and a way that is amazing right here in Sioux Falls. Let's dive into today's episode. Well, hey, welcome to today's episode, everybody. I'm so glad that you are here because I've got an amazing gal that actually I met not too long ago, Miss Katie Critzer here. Katie, hello. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. How about yourself?
So good. You guys, you're in for a treat with what she does. You own a business here in town. Go ahead and give the audience, what is the business that you own?
Yeah, so I own South Dakota Aerial Arts. So we are an aerial fitness and performance studio. So we opened in January of 2022, and we've been bringing circus and aerial to the community ever since.
That is very cool. So I met Katie at a chamber event here in town, and it was at the district. They had a silk. Is that what you call that?
That's right.
I've just been learning here as we've been talking a bit about the different styles of aerial. But they had a silk hanging, and there was a gentleman that was climbing it, and it piqued my interest. And one of the big things that we want to do is to show all of you that are watching or listening different ways you can stay fit, active, and get healthy in our community. So I chatted with Katie, which has led us to here. Where is South Dakota Aerial Arts located?
Yeah, so we are located in the old Joe Foss School. So it's off Cliff and 3rd, so pretty close to downtown. And we are in the old gym. So it has a full set of bleachers, and then we have the whole gym area with all of our different aerial apparatuses. And we have pulleys so we can switch them out.
Yeah, that's super cool. And you said that you've been there since January of 22.
Yep, that's right.
Okay. I was unaware that Joe Foss was actually no longer a school. And so you were telling me that now it's all rented out to different things, different areas. But you guys have the gym. And you said, how high are the ceilings in there?
Yeah, so they are 26-foot ceilings. And actually, it's 23. My bad. That's 2023. So at the beginning of this last year, we opened up. And I believe that they started renting out all of the different school classrooms earlier that previous year. So in 22. So
Got you.
There are a variety of other businesses in there. And yeah, it's a very eclectic home for a lot of unique businesses in Sioux Falls.
So you opened in 23.
Yep.
Okay, so we just reached a year.
Yes, there we go.
Congrats on that. That's
Thank you.
awesome. Heck yeah, I love it. Entrepreneurship is definitely a journey. Was learning all about your website as well. And you have a website.
Yep.
What is the website that you have?
Yeah, so it's sdaerialarts.com, and aerial is spelled A-E-R-I-A-L, so a little bit different than what some people think, not like the mermaid.
That's how I wanted to spell it.
Yeah, I know, I understand. One time I did do an aerial act.
There you go.
I know. A little punny. But yeah, you can go to our website. You can book any class from there. It also has some of our upcoming events on there, a lot of photos, videos, and we have both memberships and class passes, or you can do group private parties as well.
Yeah, I was super interested as we were talking because I kind of was asking, and one of the things that I love about this show is just how we do highlight how you can live a fit and a healthy lifestyle in Sioux Falls. And the thing of it is I hadn't heard of this. And so maybe if you're watching or listening and you haven't, I really dove a little deeper with Katie on okay, what are the different types of aerial? And she was explaining that to me, and it was new to me. So why don't you share a little bit with our audience? What are the different types of aerial?
Yeah, so there are a lot. We really prioritize aerial silks, and that's one fabric hanging from the ceiling, and it has two ends. So you can wrap your feet, your body around both of them. Then there are hammocks, which is like your standard loop. So think, what you would kind of tie to a tree in your backyard, but a lot bigger.
So are both of those you call that a hammock?
Yep.
Okay, so both of them then go back up to the ceiling.
Yep, that's right. So you can use the exact same fabric. It's just tied in two different ways to create those different
And is it like the same anchor point, or is it like spread apart?
You can have either.
Okay.
For a hammock, generally when we do it, you have it to one.
Okay.
There's some technicalities of the naming,
Sure.
But yes, so you can use the same apparatus or fabric for that. And then we also teach aerial hoop classes, so a metal hoop, and then we have bungees as well. So that one's a little less high in the air, but you get to bounce around. You're still suspended a little bit, get some of that air time.
When I heard about the bungees that you offer, that's something that I'm definitely like interested in. As all of you guys know, I own Fit Body, and I've got many clients that they want to do all the things. The clients will send to me or the coaches different things like, when are we doing this in one of the sessions? And one of the ones was, there was a video that was going around of all these people in a gym or in a room, and they hooked to a bungee, and they jump forward and do the push-up, and then they kind of go back, and that's what it is, right?
Yep, that's right. So you have a harness on, and then you have a bungee strapped to your back, and that's hanging from the ceiling. So with that, it's giving you some resistance and some weightlessness, but you get to bounce and jump and run, and the bungee is going to help you kind of get that weightlessness, but also adds some resistance as well.
Can you change like the tension of a bungee?
So you don't necessarily change the tension during the workout, but depending on where you're at under the point. So if you're directly under, it's a little bit different than if you're running out at an angle or at a different point. So you can certainly add more or less resistance. There's also different bungees based on weight. So that's the other thing, is just making sure it's the correct one for you. So it's not way too hard. Like I've put a kid in like one of the harnesses before on a hard bungee, and they're just like suspended and like can fly in the air.
Down.
Yeah, you can literally just like be in the air suspended.
Yeah.
But that's the most important thing, is just making sure that it fits, your body and where you're at. But yeah, it's super fun and something that is very new to, the fitness industry.
I don't feel like I know, and I'm really trying to explore Sioux Falls and explore all the different things that we have to offer with the fitness and the health community, because I think it's so amazing. But I haven't found anywhere else in town that does that. So I'll be getting a group from Fit Body, and I'm planning and would love to have a Fit Body time over at the building there, and have you take us through that.
Hey, we'd love to.
So there's the silks, the hoops, the bungee. Is there anything that we missed?
So from a class perspective, we'll do some specialty ones where, you might be able to try trapeze or cube, or we'll do acro yoga as well. So less aerial, but still more circusy, or, we work with jugglers, do fire. So there are, special other things that you can try, some more fitness-based, some more just like hand-eye coordination.
Yeah.
But
so the trapeze, I mean, it's the swinging.
Not a flying trapeze. So more of a static trapeze. You can still spin and do tricks, but no, we do not have flying trapeze here, unfortunately.
That'd be cool, right?
Oh, yeah.
I was at this resort on one of my vacations I was on. This was like years ago. And I want to say it was somewhere in Florida, actually. Like I think Florida has like an all-inclusive resort somewhere, which is like one of the only all-inclusive that's stateside. And they had a flying trapeze, and they'd hook you up. And I went and tried it, and that was like nuts. So super cool. But I can imagine that same concept of like being strapped in and bungeed in with all the different aerial arts that you guys do, I'm assuming could give that same feeling and sensation. So I'm like excited to come try this out.
Oh yeah. If you want an adrenaline rush, we can absolutely make that happen. I think there's just something so special about being in the air and, having to trust your body, but also just doing something that is different and maybe a little scary and conquering that fear. Yeah. I did flying trapeze in Vegas too. And just having that feeling of, flying is
Yep.
so exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am kind of wondering and curious, maybe those that are watching or listening, what is the age range that is what you see in your classes or at your studio?
Yeah, so we prioritize mostly adults with our classes,
Okay.
but we do have kids classes as well, starting at 8 and up.
Yeah.
But we have adults of all ages. Like we've had people in their 70s come and do aerial. We have people in their 20s and
in their 70s.
Yep.
Wow, that is so cool.
Yeah.
That's like a goal, right? Like
100%.
if we're going to live late into our life, we want to live and be able to do those things. So that
Absolutely.
is so cool. Kudos to that person.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's people of all ages. I would say most are, between 20 and like 45 or 50, but there's really not a limitation based on age. You can be doing stuff, near the ground or in the air. It's just a matter of, your level of comfort and, how strong or flexible you are.
One thing that I was encouraged by, I don't know, I had this thought, maybe those watching or listening did too, but I was like, man, you probably have to be pretty darn fit, pretty in shape to do this. And the answer that you kind of had given me kind of surprised me a bit. So go ahead and cue the audience in on like what might be needed or required from a person from a physicality standpoint to do something like this.
Really nothing. And I think that is surprising to most people. But when you often see aerial, you'll see it in a circus or a Cirque du Soleil, and they're doing the big, crazy tricks. And of course, that takes years and years of effort, but anyone at any fitness level can do aerial. We start you near the ground. We'll create like a knot or a hammock for you to do a lot of stuff in. We'll work on getting you upside down. What does it take to get there? Build the strength through doing a lot of conditioning by using fabrics or by using the hoop. But I mean, I have never had a class where someone couldn't at least do 60% of what we were doing.
Yeah.
But I think there's also something exciting about not being able to do 100% of all of like the skills, but working
Strive
up
to get there.
Yeah, working up towards it. So it's absolutely accessible. I would say a lot of our students are certainly working on their fitness, working on building strength, working on gaining more flexibility, and very few people come in with dance or gymnastics or yoga experience. So it's something where don't be afraid to try it just because you feel like you don't have the quote unquote requirements to do it.
Yeah. And so when you say in a class, how many people are typically in a particular class?
Yeah, so it definitely ranges just based on the skill level. We do have certain leveled classes where we start you in an intro class just to give you the basics, make it, less intimidating, start from ground zero, and then you'll work up into our beginner and our intermediate classes over time. But I would say it's generally around 5 to 12 people. So our classes are fairly small.
Yeah.
We have 10 different points or apparatuses that we're able to use during a class.
Sure.
And we like to give everyone their own if possible. So you have maximum amount of time.
Okay. Very cool. And then, so speaking of coming and trying it out, I was talking to you a bit too about like what you offer for memberships or classes or drop-ins or all the things. And it does sound like you've got a pretty good mix of whatever's best for the individual. So can you share a little bit about like what does a membership or a drop-in or what does it all look like for you guys?
Yeah, so a drop-in class is $30. So you could just come to one. If you just want to try it one time, you want to come to an intro class, say that you got on a silk or on a hoop or did bungee, great. You can do one class. We have 5 class passes, 10 class passes, and generally those will get your class to around like $22.
Yeah.
So a little bit lower there. And then we have memberships. So we have a limited membership, which is 4 classes, and then unlimited open gym, and then unlimited, which you can just do as much as you want to. So we have a lot of students who do opt for unlimited, and they'll come multiple times a week to different aerial classes, work on those skills in open gym or just work on their fitness during that time. You don't have to be on an aerial apparatus to come to open gym. So
when you say come to open gym, just out of curiosity, are there other things to do at the gym other than stuff that's hanging from the ceiling? Or is most of the stuff like hanging from the ceiling stuff?
I mean, it really depends on what you're trying to do. We have, blocks and weights
Yep.
and rollers and
Yeah.
all of that kind of stuff. So if you're looking for, just a complement to your workout, you want to maybe do 30 minutes of aerial, but then you're going to do a glute and leg workout on the side too. You absolutely can.
Yeah.
A lot of our students are also working on their flexibility. So having those blocks and having a coach there who can help assist, or they're like, hey, I'm working towards my splits. What can I do? So we're there to help assist, but they might not be, climbing in the air.
Yeah. I should probably have help on my splits because I have zero flexibility. Speaking of coaches, how many team members or coaches or staff are involved in your business?
Yeah, so we have 6 coaches.
Wow.
5 of them are aerial specific, and then 1 is more flexibility and strength related. Okay. So yeah, we are continuously growing.
Yeah.
Aerial is such a hard thing to kind of start coaching because you have to have years and years of experience. So we're really happy with the staff that we have, that they have all been doing aerial for at least, 4 years.
Yeah.
And just growing, those pool of people. So people specialize in different things. We have, my co-owner who specializes in hoop, where I do more fabrics, and then, I'll do bungee as well alongside one of my other coaches. So
how long have you been doing this? Like not
our
the
business specifically, or aerial?
No, just like aerial in general.
Yeah. So I have been doing aerial since 2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you were like a young child, did you find yourself like, I'm thinking of my kids right now. I've got an 11-year-old daughter who I share custody with her mom. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times in the summer, her mom has like a hoop that's hanging from this tree. It's like a string. I mean, it's not a string, but something attached to the tree. And then there's like a ring. Okay. And a lot of times I'll pull up and Zoe's out there and she's sitting on her swing doing different things. And then she also has like it seems to me like an acrobat or a gymnast bar. Yep. Like you as a child, were those things kind of in your life as well, or not really?
So I was a gymnast, but I hated bars, which is funny to me because I would say that's most similar to what I do now.
Sure.
So I tumbled and I vaulted. Those were like my favorites. And then I was terrified of beam, bad at bars. So, I mean, I have always liked that type of thing. But, I mean, aerial silks wasn't even around when I was a young child. Like, it didn't exist. And then
you said it came out when?
In 1998 is when fabrics started or were invented. And I would say they around 10 years ago, more places started offering it, but as a very, very like niche form of fitness, or there was aerial yoga starting to come into the mainstream. And then, bungee only started in 2018. So very recently has that been offered. So I didn't know that type of thing existed. I actually only found out that aerial was something around and a form of fitness when a studio opened in my hometown in Wisconsin, and I saw one of my previous coworkers was doing it, and I was like, what is this thing? And I had just seen it on Facebook, and I was following her and watching her and her kids do this really cool stuff. And then I moved here. I didn't know anybody. My boyfriend and now husband was in medical school. He was down in Vermilion. I was in Sioux Falls, and I was trying to find my community, right? So I found some classes here at a studio that is no longer around, but, I was super excited to see that was something offered. And honestly, as someone who didn't know much about Sioux Falls, I was shocked that there was anything like that around.
Well, I'll tell you, like my initial thought when I met you was the same thing. Like I was shocked that we had a specific business that this is like all you do. And then I was even more shocked and actually applaud you that this is all you do. Like it isn't, like you went all in on this and that is your plan. And I love that because I do think that if you truly have passion for something and you truly want to help people in something, you do need to go all in on something. And so that is awesome. One thing that you mentioned as we were talking kind of before the show, you mentioned that, any physical limits or any type of person could come with their abilities to do this. But one thing that you mentioned that really kind of inspired me, that might inspire others, was that a lot of people that will come and do what you have to offer are people that maybe have tried other gyms or other forms of fitness and didn't like fitness or think it was for them, then they tried this, and they're like, whoa, this is fun, right? And so I just think that is so special. It's so cool to be able to have something like that, because at the end of the day, fitness and health, it's activity. You need to get out, you need to move your body, and you need to be active. That's how you stay healthy. And so super awesome. What is the best way for someone to find out about all the different things and happenings? Does it just go to your website?
Yeah, you can go to our website or follow us on social media. It's SD Aerial Arts on both Facebook and Instagram. So we'll post all of our, events that you can attend, performances, or if we have workshops or that type of thing.
You just said that. Let's touch on that. You said performances, because that's another cool thing that you said that you guys do. Touch on that a little bit. Like touch on the performance side of your business.
So we are the only circus performance group in town that performs for corporate events. We do, big birthday parties, weddings, but anytime that you're looking for that extra special something at an event, we'll do cocktail, happy hour, aerial entertainment. We have small ones that can stand on the ground, or acrobatics that we can do, or, you're at a bigger venue with higher ceilings, we can do fabrics or hoop from that, and doubles work we do a lot as well. But just adding that, awe factor, that Vegas feel to an event is what we love to do. We have full shows that we have choreographed and put scripts together for. Or if you're just looking for something, in the background that makes people, excited or give them something to watch and remember, We've done that for a lot of events, and it's super fun. We also do fire and juggling and acrobatics. It's more than just aerial. Yeah. But it's fun to be able to give our students something to work towards as well. Yeah. Because, over time, they could be performing in those, and we're working, with some of them to be able to do that over time. But we also do have student shows and performances that anyone can do. And we host our own competition as well. Yeah, because that's so cool. And I was asking you too about finding if there's just something that you do where a person like myself could just go and watch the performance. And you said that a while ago you performed in the Sioux Falls Locals show. Where was that at? So at the Washington Pavilion, we were one of the groups selected for the Live and Local series last November. Okay. So yeah, we did a full, what we called Fractured Fairy Tales show. It was an hour of choreographed work with a little bit of everything that we do. Yeah. And we offer those to the public. A lot of them are free events. Some are paid performances. Yeah. We do a lot with the 605 Made Night Market. We performed there the last 2 years. Where do they host that at, the 605 Made Market? That's been in the Raven parking lot downtown, but we've also done stuff with 605 Summer Classic, the Renaissance Fair, Festival of Cultures. So, and downtown Sioux Falls was a great partner to us as well last summer. So yeah, that's very cool. That's so cool. I had something that I wanted to ask you. It came to mind, and I just lost it. But you were just saying about the different shows that you do, that you did at the Pavilion. You do online. Talk a little bit about that. You said that you have an online, basically, side of your business as well. Yeah. So something with aerial too is there's a lot of small studios around, or people starting something, but they don't necessarily know where to take it. And we offer virtual coaching. So I've worked with people in Hawaii, Arizona, Philadelphia, and I've had inquiries from people, honestly, all around the globe looking for aerial coaching, advice, or help. And we, do that coaching through Zoom or Teams, and then work one-on-one with different people. So it's been great to be able to give that aerial expertise elsewhere, but also have Sioux Falls as almost like a hub for aerial coaching and advice. And that's why I'm excited too for our competition this upcoming year, because last year we brought in aerialists from Korea and Bulgaria and, places in the US. We had Colorado, we had Minnesota, all the closer ones too. But, we are bringing that expertise to Sioux Falls. And I don't think that when people see aerial, they think that we're doing these big productions and have big skills, but we actually are bringing that to so many other places as well. And it's exciting to have that level of expertise here in our city.
That's one of the things that I do love about our community is there is so much going on that we don't even realize. And to me, like that was super cool. The thing that slipped my mind that I wanted to just bring up was I believe it's for a private show, but you said right now you're working through like a decades show.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
Yeah. So what is that one? I know it's private, but.
Yeah, so for corporate performances, you can hire us either for like ambient entertainment where we're more in the background or like an actual show. So this is an hour-long production that includes aerial and fire and acrobatics and doubles work and just all of the different things. But we're going from the 1920s through the 2020s and putting a full, choreographed, but also it has a narrative where we're talking through each of the decades and the changes of the, century and stuff too. So it's a fun, different type of performance that we're excited to bring to, corporate, or we've done holiday parties with it, and just something different, and being able to support local performers too. I think for these bigger corporations is really great within our community. So this is a way that you can do that, but also have something that your staff has probably never seen before. Yeah,
absolutely. I just think that's super cool. It was super awesome that I got to run into you and that it led to this. Just trying to think here, we hit on a lot. We definitely, I know for me, opened my eyes to honestly a whole new world. And the funny thing about that is I feel like, isn't that like aerial mermaids?
Yep. I was going to say that's a good one.
Yeah. So again, no pun intended, but opened my eyes to a whole new world of fitness and just ways that you can get started. And one thing that Katie and I were talking about too is that there's so many people in our community. There's so many different ways to stay fit, to stay active, and to just move. And I love that we were able to highlight kind of your business and what you all have to offer. Would there be anything else that you want to just make sure that we touched on, or any last kind of burning desires or thoughts that kind of are stirring that you have that you'd love to share?
Yeah, I think that similar to what we talked about before, but just because you did one type of fitness and it maybe wasn't a good fit for you, don't count everything out.
Yeah.
Because I think with aerial specifically, a lot of times it doesn't feel like you're working out. You're learning a skill, you're learning a sequence, you're trying to, do some pattern of movements, and it feels more like dance or learning a skill. And there's always that next thing to learn.
Yeah.
And I think that for some people and how their brains work, they just need a goal in mind. And maybe that goal is climbing up the fabric, or it's getting this new skill. And to me, I think it's very motivating. And getting that first spark is the hardest in fitness, or, trying something new, getting out of your comfort zone and thinking, maybe this could be for me. But if you're looking for something different, I would say we certainly have the different. And if that's your first spark to fitness, awesome. We want to help get you there. Most of my students are not super fit people.
Yeah.
They're working on their fitness journey. They're getting there through doing aerial, and then often they start expanding from there because they want the outcomes and they're excited about the performances. And then, they'll also look for other outlets of fitness after that. But it's really a catalyst for people to get started. So I think that there is a form of fitness for everybody, and it's totally different based on your wants, needs, interests. But just because your background isn't in something specifically, don't count it out, or don't think that you need a certain level of fitness to try a different fitness routine, which is what I hear that a lot.
I do too. I do too. And you're exactly right. And we touched on that too, is how people will say that, fitness, working out isn't for me. This, like you said, Katie, is working out, absolutely, but would not be in the kind of public's eyes viewed as going to the gym.
Yeah.
That's not when I say I'm gonna go to the gym, people would not think of going and grabbing aerial equipment and doing a workout. So I love it. I think it's super awesome. In the description down below, you guys, we will drop the link to Katie's website so that you guys can check that out. I don't know if it was it your partner that you said, or someone that you said lost a lot of weight?
Multiple people, but my business partner has lost 80 pounds doing aerial. I have another one of my coaches who's lost over 60 pounds, and we have a lot of people on their fitness journey. Mind you, weight loss is not our main goal,
Right.
But it's a great outcome of doing aerial fitness. And I love seeing people's bodies progress. Like we'll take a lot of before and after like flexibility pictures too. And just seeing people who couldn't touch their toes and now they're almost in a full split. So
I love that. And
it's great.
And that's the thing about it. So whatever it might be for you, when it comes to health and it comes to fitness, know that there are options for you. And this is just the surface that we're scratching of all the different offerings that Sioux Falls has to offer you guys. But like I said, I'll drop the link in the description of this video. Make sure that you guys do me a favor. Like Katie took the time to be here. Follow her on social media, check out her website. And man, I know that Katie, you will be seeing myself and the Fit Body clients definitely getting in on some of that bungee action, because that just sounds too fun to pass up that opportunity. But other than that, Katie, thank you for being on the show. Friends, do us a huge favor. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and share this episode. And we will catch you on the next episode of the Sioux Falls Fit and Healthy podcast. See you later. Bye-bye.